What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Who You Got with
Melo.
and Rado. It's a sports podcast where we talk your favorite sports debates, sports highlights, and sports matchups. And if you guys are watching along with us right now, make sure you go ahead and click that like button below. We love every single one of you guys, so make sure you guys follow along on a journey and follow along on our predictions on all these sports topics we got and debates. Also, if you guys are on TikTok, make sure you guys check us out there. We got a TikTok, we got an Instagram where we post a lot of our short clips. I know you
hmm
guys want to check those out. Those 1 minute clips are what everyone's looking for. And if you guys just want to get some quick takes from us, that's where you can get them. And if you check out our Patreon, that's where you guys can ask us questions. You can just give some general support. And if you guys want to get some of our merch, that's the place to get it. If you guys subscribe with us for 3, 6, and 9 months, we got some really cool merch options for you guys. You guys can check out there. Also, you guys could check us out on our social media pages. On Instagram, I'm the.iconicdude and Melo.
Melo the Notorious.
That's right. That's right. So really appreciate you guys coming along on this episode. What are we talking about today, Melo? I know we got an exciting one.
Yes, yes, today is a good one. We are always introducing new sports. We pretty much got NFL, NBA. We've done some college basketball, obviously UFC, boxing. Um, and obviously, we're proud to introduce another aspect of sports and one that we both obviously love, and that's college football. It's a crazy time where college football falls. So last year, our first year, we didn't cover it. But right now we are right before the playoffs, and pretty much it's getting feisty. So today we are pretty much here to talk about who our Heisman candidates are, and not only that, just what really made them in our mind separate themselves from the rest of the pack, and what really gave them that Heisman moment to make us pick them. So man, right now there's so many good choices, man.
Oh yeah, I mean it's crazy exciting, and I mean they already pretty much said the finalists.
hmm
ESPN came out and said all four finalists, and it was a crazy college season as well. Just coming up to it, they determined the college playoff already, top six teams, and honestly, you got some more parity this year than I think any other year. In college football, as far as when the college football playoffs been around, you got some parity. You got some teams that people didn't think were going to get there. I'm talking about TCU with Tennessee, of course. But we will talk about them a little bit on our other
hmm
episode when we're talking about the playoff. But
Exactly.
as far as the finalists, you got to give it to all the finalists. You got Stenson Bennett, quarterback from Georgia. Um, Obviously, you got Max Duggan, TCU quarterback. You got
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams, USC quarterback, and
Mm-hmm.
you got CJ Stroud, Ohio State quarterback. So you got four quarterbacks out there, and honestly, this year has been all quarterbacks. So,
Oh yeah.
Mello, why don't we just go ahead and I'm gonna ask you who you got for your Heisman Trophy winner this year? I mean, it's four quarterbacks, and it's kind of hard to pick, but some people might not say not really. Who you got?
So, this is our first college football episode. So let me tell these fans a little bit about myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
my favorite team is the USC Trojans. Absolutely fell in love when they had White and Bush, Thunder and Lightning, Pete Carroll, Liner. Was but we still
Atlanta
had
was
a.
nice.
He wasn't bad for college wise. We still had a 1-2 punch. I fell in love with them the year uh, before pretty much like it was a year we won, but it was the year pretty much before we lost to Texas Longhorns in the Rose Bowl. I'll never forget that year. Vince Young,
I remember
um,
that, bro. I was watching that whole
yeah,
game live, actually.
brutal game.
Yeah,
So pretty
Texas came
much
back.
it was so same around the same times I became a Celtics fan. Pretty much I became all my sports around '07, '08, '09 is really when I started to develop myself. So yes, I'm a USC Trojan fan through and through. So for me, it might be biased, it might not be, but the choice wasn't even hard this year. Um, the Oklahoma transfer Caleb Williams came over to USC, and honestly, a lot of questions came into whether he was going to be a good, not good like skill wise, just a good fit as a leader, as a person, and just to that locker room. He pretty much came in right away last year, took control of everything, and pretty much made sure he was going to be prepared to come into this year. Um, he had a hell of a campaign. Pretty much won 11-2, losing in the Pac-12 championship, and the only team we lost to those two times was unfortunately Utah. Um, First one lost by a point in a hell of a game, and obviously losing the Pac-12 championship, it was a little different. Um, I don't like making excuses, but Caleb was a little hurt. You could see that hamstring injury was still really affected him. He didn't really get out the pocket that much, and that's one of his greatest attributes. But he still threw for 363 and 3 touchdowns. Late game pick kind of sealed the deal for Utah, and that kind of closed our season. Other than that, even with the 1 point loss to Utah, hell of a season, 11-1, 69 yards away from becoming the USC single season passing leader. And we got hell of quarterbacks coming from that backfield that got some names to them. So the fact that his first year, 69 yards away, and pretty much 100% already broke the records for total touchdowns and yardage. Ended the season 4,075 yards, 37 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions, rushing for 372 with the extra 10 more TDs as a true sophomore. Ridiculous. He did his thing this season. And right now he's tied for first with 37 passing touchdowns for the year. Clear candidate for one of the best players in the nation. Um, I think his work of art and his resume pretty much speaks for itself. And that's why I said it definitely might be a biased pick, but at the end of the day, the stats are there. I think that Caleb Williams is a clear cut winner for a Heisman Trophy this year.
You know what, man? Honestly, I don't think you're being biased at all. I think you're being very logical in your pick, and I think most people, the pundits, probably Vegas, they would probably agree with you right now. I think Caleb Williams right now he's the number one favorite, and you mentioned it. He's got the 38 touchdowns, but he also has the 10 touchdowns as well. Or sorry, six rushing
10,
touchdowns.
10
Or no,
rushing
10 rushing. Yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
he's got 48 total. So he's actually top of the league, the NCAA, and total touchdowns. So
Hmm.
that's one thing I got to give him. Another thing that you mentioned, I mean, he broke records in USC when there's guys like Matt Leinart and obviously like Mark
Don't say it.
Sanchez that
Don't say.
have been.
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew
Yo, he
you were
was a
gonna
good
say
college quarterback.
it.
He was
Yes,
great.
he was, but
He
he
was
wasn't even nowhere near close to our best one.
no, 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 no. I mean, yeah, you guys had some guys though there, and this is gonna be a really crazy award for Caleb Williams if he gets it, because this would be the first time in the last 7 years. So 6 out of the last 7 years, the award has gone to somebody that's been in the college football playoff. If Caleb Williams wins it this year, this would be like the first time in 7 years that it's happened. So I mean, if he does it, it might be incredible. But I'm gonna give another guy, and it's a guy that
Who you got? Who you got?
it's a guy that's a little bit more explosive to me. I'll give it to Caleb
Mm.
Williams. To me, he is going to be a future star in the NFL. That's 100% sure to me. Like he is for sure going to be a future star. But like this man is 25 years old, 26 years old right now. Like, did you know that like him and I think there was a meme out there that him and what was it? Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, they were like in the same, or him and Jalen Hurts, they were the same freshman class. Like so,
Right,
it's
right.
I mean, like, yeah, this man is a 6 year freshman or something like that. Already 26 years old. I do believe that he is going to be a star. He's got a big arm. I actually got Max Duggan, TCU. I think that TCU
Mm.
surprised everybody this year, and the reason why I really got him is he didn't even start the year as the starting quarterback for TCU. TCU totally was going to go another way, but because of injury, they had to bring him in halfway through the first game, and since then he's been balling out. The team's been averaging over 500 yards of offense with him on
Mm.
the field, and he's just been playing incredible. 3,300 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, nothing to sneeze at. It's right up there with the top three guys and the top four guys with the Heisman.
Hmm.
But he's got the 400 rushing yards. Plus, he has low interception rate, only 4 interceptions with 6 rushing scores. So this man is really doing a lot
That's
for his
up
team.
there.
the rushing yards there, especially for a team that has never really used their quarterback to rush. They do more of a West style offense, and they like to throw short passes. But this year was totally different. They let him like run and gun on the outside, and then he actually like chose to go up the middle a lot of times when defense was pretty much rushing him from the outside, and he saw some open space in the middle. So he is definitely an explosive player. The way that he just took this team and got them into the college football playoff, nobody had them ranked up here. They didn't have them ranked top
Hmm.
20 in the beginning of the year. So I don't know. Like the one thing about him is, you know, he did have two bad games. Really, I mean, it was, I guess you could say one and a half bad game because his first game when he came in, when he started, he basically only played less like a quarter and 4 minutes. So that's like less than 20 minutes of the game, and he only had 100 yards passing. So I guess that's a bad game if you want to call it that. But they won the game
Right.
because of him, because he came in and he won the game, and they didn't know what he could do at that time. After that, he's pretty much been killing it. He's been killing it every single game and averaging over 360 yards by himself. So I think that like just by his averages, he's averaging more than any other quarterback in the Heisman finalist hunt. Also, the way that he brought his team up. I'm not saying that Caleb Williams didn't, because USC, they weren't really projected to be in the college football playoff either.
Nah,
Beginning.
nah. Especially with our first year with our coach, like they didn't think that him and Caleb could do it. But
That's true. That's true. They didn't have him in. I think they had him like ranked eighth in the projections in the beginning of the season, but they had TCU a lot lower. They had him at like 15th. So I think that what he did with TCU was just a little bit higher than what Caleb Williams did with USC. But I'll tell you this though: if Caleb Williams was on any other team, he can do the same thing that he's doing on USC and better. Like imagine if he was on Georgia playing with
right.
receivers, playing with that defense, he would easily be in the college football playoff. But I mean, I gotta go with Druggin. I think that he's just a little bit more explosive for me, a little bit more um, agile as far as in the pocket. The way that I see him as a Heisman winner. Plus, he's in the college football playoff, and Caleb Williams isn't. So those are really the only reasons that I'm really picking him instead of Caleb. But
Got you.
what's one of the moments that you like from Caleb Williams this year, though? That's what I want to know.
So
One of his
for
defining
me,
moments. That's what I really want to know.
yeah, and truthfully, like I said, he's done great all year. Always came up when we needed him the most, especially against top ranked opponents. Pretty much had 11 touchdowns in the last 3 games against UCLA, Notre Dame, and Utah. Um,
Right.
so pretty much for me, it was the Notre Dame game. Uh, 37-28 win over ranked 15 Notre Dame. Um, Weird game for him statistic, but he pretty much took over the game and it really showed his dominance when he needed to.
Mm,
So lowest passing mark of the season, he ended with 232 with 2 touchdowns. But he also ran for 2 touchdowns and just always had crucial moments that just made sure his team just like stayed where it needed to be. I remember one play, pretty much it was 2nd and 13 late in the third. He was about to get sacked. It looked like he was about to go down. I don't even know how. He was running forward, kind of spin all the way around just to take off right through the middle and turn that into like I think it was a 19-yard gain and a
hmm
first down pickup. Few plays after that, did the same thing, avoided another sack and pretty much got the 3-yard touchdown to put us ahead. But the problem was our defense kept giving up. We had a couple injuries and they kept letting them back in the game.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Second touchdown came in the fourth on the 4th and 2nd, pretty much kept the for 16-yard run to actually score, and at that point the game was clinched. So just like so many key moments in that game, where he showed his athleticism, his ability to make good decisions, whether it's keep the ball, try to run. He even slid, when he needed to. But just those two scores late in the game, especially on his feet. Like I said, in a game that he didn't run that much, or he didn't throw that much, definitely showed that like he was gonna get the job done no matter what. So that pretty much it was like, yeah, this is that man. And I was like, mama, that's a bad man right there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That definitely showed his determination and really that showed why he's gonna be a star, and what I think he's gonna be a star in the NFL. That's You're totally right about that. Game was crazy.
Oh, not to mention because we pretty much only had like I think it was like 8 drives that game, which is why it was a
Hmm.
solo offense. But the only time we punted, he was a punter. On 4th and 8,
The only
he
time
got
you
like
guys
a.
punted that
The
game.
only time we punted
Remember
that
that.
game,
I remember that. Yeah, they
he kicked
posted
it for
that.
58 yards. I'm like, bro, this man could do everything. So I'm like, yeah,
Everything.
that game right there blew my mind. I was like, yeah, he's an athlete, man. He's something special.
Yeah, no, he definitely special. Definitely a special man, and I definitely agree with you. I think that he's definitely gonna, even in the next level, he's gonna be amazing. And
Hey, true sophomore, so he definitely got a long way to go. This year we didn't make it to the playoffs, but we're gonna be back next year for sure. Be back stronger. But what about you, man? What was one of those defining moments that you made you be like, yeah, this guy's gonna be a Heisman candidate, or this guy's a real deal?
yeah, so the crazy thing is that this moment, I mean, a lot of people saw this moment, and they were watching this game because it was a game of the week at the time. People were watching it. TCU at the time was a number 8, and K State was a 17, and they were both fighting, to get up in the college football playoff. TCU was unranked at the time. So the moment that really defined Max Duggan's season this year was actually a loss. It was actually the
Hmm.
loss to K State. They lost in overtime, but this man played his heart out. He was so exhausted by the end of the game, and you could like literally see it. And if it really wasn't for some questionable calling at the end of the game, where they should have put the ball in Duggan's hands and not ran it 3 times on the goal line, I believe that they would have won the game. I think that the coach definitely made a few mistakes there, but Duggan played amazing. He had 280 yards for 3 touchdowns, and he was rushing it all over and making sure that he wasn't getting sacked because K State was known for sacking quarterbacks at the time. They were sacking everybody, and he didn't get sacked at all. So that was one of the big storylines in the game. Uh, yeah, obviously, like they have a pretty good line, TCU, but I'm telling you, like Rattler, he was running around, making sure that he got his guys open, and his determination to just keep bringing his team back. They were down by 10, he brought them back, and then they were down again by 7, he brought them back in the fourth quarter, and obviously in overtime, it was tough where he should have won, but the coach didn't really give him the option where he could have. There's other moments that I can give where he's had 300-yard games and they won big, but his determination and his drive really showed me, like in this game he was so tired. You could see it in the fourth quarter, sweating all over, huffing and puffing, and he got his team down to get a touchdown in the last like 56 seconds of the game. So yeah, he got him down 56 seconds of the game, and he was actually able to get that touchdown to bring him into overtime, and it showed how much he just really wanted this win. And I believe that if he would have won that win, he would have got that win. That would have solidified the Heisman for him. He didn't get it, so now it's a question of who's gonna get it. But I do believe that if he possibly would have gotten that last touchdown in
Mm,
overtime, that could have solidified it. Could have.
not solidified it because he still don't got the best stats in the nation.
You got to understand, the Big 12. I mean, TCU, they play every single conference. They're the only ones that do that. They literally play a team in every single conference, and they're usually good teams in every single conference. They're the only team, or the Big 12 is the only conference to do that. So, I mean, you got to understand, like they're playing the toughest teams. They were able to like almost be undefeated the whole season, and with a kid like this that wasn't even supposed to be starting at all, and now he shows that he can just keep coming back in games, bring his team back from long deficits at times. Sometimes it's 14 points. This game was 17, and then it was 10, and then a 7, and then he just really brings it back into games, and he knows how to bring his teammates into the game. He really like hypes them up. So that was definitely the final moment for me.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. I get the whole having a loss. Like I remember, uh, there was a Caleb Williams loss that pretty much it was the first meeting against Utah. Like I said, 43-42. My man threw 5 touchdowns. Like he played
Right.
his ass off, but they still lost. So I 100% get what you mean by that. That even though they didn't win, that still was a defining moment for him. So I
Plus, he threw
mean,
what announcers like. There was a 65-yard touchdown, but the announcers they replayed it in that game, and they were like, he threw a 50-yard pass in the air, like literally like a 50-yard pass. They were on the 20, and he threw it on the other side, like the 30. So
oh,
he's
gotcha,
got a
damn.
big arm. He's got a big arm.
Yeah, no. I think he does have a bigger arm than Caleb.
Yeah, but Caleb's very good in the pocket, though. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, like this year, like I said, if you put Caleb on any other team, he would make that team better than they already are. I mean, with TCU, it's I don't know because they have a different type of team. Their offensive line is not as good, so they need a scrambler, kind of like Rattler. But if you put him on any other team, Georgia, Ohio State, he would easily be in the college football playoff right now, and they'll be undefeated. Because I do think that Caleb is so talented. So for me, it's very, very close on where I put both of these guys. And I know that right now Caleb is the favorite, and he most likely will win. But with everything else coming into it, the fact that another Heisman Trophy winner hasn't been chosen, not being in the college football playoffs in the last 6 out of 7 years, I gotta go with Rattler.
Hey, I think the I think the unimaginable, well, not unimaginable, but I think it's gonna happen. I think Caleb Williams already solidified himself above everybody, and at this point, they seen him hobbled, injured,
True.
still get 363 and 3 touchdowns.
True.
So I definitely think that even the loss hurt him a little bit, but once you really like I said, even watching the tape, I might have been a little biased, but I'm like, this man not even 100%. Like he's not even taking off out the pocket. Like you could definitely see the play call is a little different. But yeah, well, I don't know.
I
We'll
mean,
see. We'll see. I mean, there's
if
two other people that's still up there
you
that
know
we didn't
what,
even
man,
talk about, but
that's true. I mean, we could just say their stats real quick. I mean, I'll talk about C.J. Stroud real quick of Ohio State. He had 37 touchdown passes this year. He tops the country with 9.4 yards per pass attempt with 3,300 yards. That's not bad. And I don't know. I just think that
we got
the year that they've had, they obviously lost to Michigan this year, and he didn't play he didn't really play that well. I know he had yards, but he didn't play that well. It was the guys around him that played well, and you could see that there's other spots that he didn't play to his full potential. Otherwise, he would have won it. It wasn't clear cut this year.
right, and that's why I don't even think it's clear cut for Stetson Bennett because he only got like 3,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, and a team that wasn't undefeated. Pretty much they did come back in the end of the season and did a little good, but like I said, our two picks have better stats, so I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think Stetson Bennett he had the most talented team around him, and he probably did the least out of
Average,
all
right?
these guys, or
Exactly,
average, yeah, out of all
exactly.
these
Yeah, yeah,
guys,
yeah.
out of these four guys, yeah. But I mean, either way you go, Caleb Williams or my man Druggan, I don't know. I think that those are good choices, and I don't know. Let's just look into the future real quick. What do you expect from Williams once he gets into the NFL and beyond? I just project real quick.
I ain't gonna front. I'm projecting a national championship next year first, because let's just get to
Nice,
that. Um,
nice.
then after
That's true.
that,
That's true. That's true. I'll give it to him. Yeah, I'll give it to him because both Druggan's gonna be in college too,
yeah,
so
'cause
we
he's a
got
true
time.
freshman, so he's staying
Yeah,
one
we
more
got time.
year.
So you know what? Yeah, we can leave that question for another day. We can definitely leave that question for another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we got to see what teams are looking like when they about to draft him. Because
of
hey,
course.
we seen some good teams turn some decent quarterbacks into bad quarterbacks, trying to put too much pressure with not enough talent.
No, that's true. That's actually true. Yeah. But yeah, we'll save it for another day. And honestly, I definitely think the voters in Vegas are mostly gonna go your way. But I do think that the college football playoff is gonna have a slight, you know, something slight into what they're voting at. Because what if TCU comes out and wins? You think that they're gonna have?
I was just about to say, I definitely calling a national champ, and you heard it here first, people. National champ next year from USC. So your boy Dragon's still in the playoffs. He's gonna either have to, well, he's probably pretty much gonna have to face Stroud or
It's gonna
Bennett
be
at one
Stroud.
point.
They're
His
facing
first
Stroud next. Yeah.
and then
They're facing
maybe
each other,
Bennett. So do you
right?
got your boy Duggan
Oh no, you know what?
winning the championship? Is it the other
I'm
way?
sorry. I think it's the other way. He's facing the Doug or yeah, he's facing Bennett first. He's facing Bennett first. That's what it is. Not bad. Yeah, he's facing Bennett first because it's a three
So
six matchup and then 4-5 right now. Yeah.
so so do you so
Honestly, I
do
got him
you
winning. I got him winning against Georgia. So I think that's gonna push the voters a little bit into kind of like not everyone. I don't think there's gonna be a unanimous vote for Heisman. I think it's gonna be a little bit split. Most likely, if I'm looking at it logically, it's probably gonna go 50%, to Caleb Williams and then spread around the other three guys. But if my man Drugan wins, I think that he can get that 50% vote and move it towards his side and probably get like 40 to 50% of the vote, and then the rest of the guys split it. Because I do think that CJ Stroud's
so okay, so that's what I thought. There's four teams. It's Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Ohio State. So there's only four. It's basically gonna be Stroud versus Ben, whatever the fucking last name is. I keep
Bennett,
saying his last name. Bennett.
Spencer Bennett,
It's
Spencer Bennett.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. Yes.
hmm
Yes, and then basically your boy's taking on Michigan.
Michigan, yeah, which is going to be the toughest test for him. Michigan
It
defense,
is.
actually. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if they're going to win that game against Michigan. I think Michigan's going to win the
That's
national
gonna be a tough
championship this
team.
year. Yeah, I think
So
Michigan's
who do
got
you
it.
well, I was I'm not even gonna ask you who's gonna take the other game. We'll save that for the next episode.
Well, let's just say I think Michigan's going to take this game, and then we'll see who they have to play because it could
Yeah, I'm
be.
not even gonna say who they because I'm not even I have a pick already, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying Michigan is nice all year, and I knew they were
And
going to get in here.
it just
The
might have
defense.
to be a revenge season in the national championship. That's all I'm saying. Some people
You
might
might be
be looking
right.
for
You might be
revenge in the
right.
national championship. That's all
You
I'm
might be
saying.
right. That's a fact,
But we'll
though.
save
That's
that
a
for
fact.
next episode.
Next one for sure, but at least it's not gonna be a Nick Saban national championship again.
That's a fact. As long as it's not this man, I don't care,
Fact.
bro.
But everyone, I want you guys to comment below who you think who's gonna be the national champion. Plus, I want you guys to comment who you think is gonna be the Heisman Trophy winner. Most importantly, because that's what this episode about. Heisman Trophy winner. I
Hmm.
had Drugan, you had Williams, and we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a crazy one. It's gonna be a crazy one this year. So make sure you guys comment below, pick your favorites, and if it's not one of the guys that we picked, then give us a reason why your guy is better than ours. That's what I want to know.
That's a
And
whole fact.
for real, and make sure that you guys are following along with us and click that subscribe button right below. Make sure you guys like the video as well. You guys can check us out on our Facebook, as well as our TikTok, as well as our Instagram. Plus, we have the Patreon where you guys can go and give us just some general support, as well as ask us some questions. If you guys have any questions about the podcast, or if you want to give us a topic that you want on the podcast, or maybe just a sports question that you'd like to have us add on there. We're always doing like different sports topics, so we can always add something in there that's
Hmm.
relevant. But make sure you guys are following along with us. And if you guys have any questions on social media, make sure you guys ask us, right?
100%. You already know we love fan interaction. Also, want to let you know, almost got sidetracked. Thanksgiving giveaway. Want to give a shout out. I don't know if we did give a shout out to your boy CJ. He let us know what his favorite Thanksgiving memory was. I'm pretty sure it was the Bills beating the Cowboys. A couple years ago, he's a Bills fan. His dad's a Cowboys fan. But
Love it.
same thing for Christmas. We're definitely gonna throw that out there, and we want to let y'all know. We're gonna throw the post. Let us know your favorite Christmas memory, and we'll go ahead and give up a raffle, and we're gonna give a lucky fan a same deal, $50 to help towards a Christmas and their family, things like that. Obviously, we're a little small, but we're definitely gonna do what we can for everybody. But let us know what you love. Keep the comments, keep sharing. Let us know what episode ideas. Already know everything you got. Our job is to keep that quality sports content, and we love to do it.
That's a whole fact. So make sure you guys follow along with us, and we'll see you guys next time on this on Who You Got With
Mellow.
and Rado. Peace, y'all.